Okay, I'm going to run a test of CS6 and 7. I'm bringing in two patterns into CS6. These are the same patterns except they are from different sources. So bring them into CS6. Here's my two patterns. I'm going to tell it I'm done. I look at this top pattern. The size here is 20.58 by 18.02, and the bottom pattern is 20.58 by 18.02. So I'm just going to put each pattern on the screen using repeat patterns. I'm in SAM. Okay, I'll look at this pattern. I'm going to move it over here, close out this setup box, I go to this pattern, repeat patterns, place it on the screen, and you can see, I'm going to get out of this box, I select this one, it's 20.58 by 1802, then this one is the same size. You say, why are you doing that? I'm going to compare these two patterns. They are from different sources. Okay? Compare these two patterns on CS7 and you will see a difference in how they load. So I'll exit out of CS6. I have CS7 up. Now you notice I do not have any patterns in my window over here. I'm going to go get a couple of patterns. Import pattern. I will go to the same folder that has the two patterns in it, and I will just select them. They are checked to be imported. I'll import to selected. Close this. There's my two patterns. Okay. If I right click and do a view properties, you see this pattern is the same it was in CS6, 18.02, 20.58. Select this pattern, right click, view properties. Now it's the same pattern from the same folder, but look what it has done to the size. I have no idea why it does that. So I'm going to close this out and show you on the screen what happens. I place this pattern on the screen. Okay, I'll select it down here. It tells us it's 20.58, 1802. That is normal. Go get this pattern. Deselect that. Get this pattern. Move it on the screen. Now, look at the difference. It's 80.97 by 70.89. I have no idea what's going on with this. So that is one thing that I have encountered in CS7. Okay, I brought my CS6 program back up, and here's what I want to look at is the fact that this pattern is 18 inches high and this pattern is 18 inches high. Now if I want to, I could change this to 15, which I normally do that. I'm just going to do that here in this left window. Okay, let's change it to 15, and CS will automatically adjust the width. Okay, if I change this back to 18.02, then Creative Studio 6 is going to change the width accordingly. And do the same thing. I could do the same thing with this. Now, if I decide to, let's say, bring this into repeat patterns, here is the repeat patterns setup box, and here you have all of your information, your pattern location, the start point. I have it set to start point, but I want it to be upper left. I'll change that. Here, if I want to, in this box, freeze aspect is on. If I want to change this to 15, I can do that. And it will change the width accordingly, and it turns off the freeze aspect. So now I can go into some other settings, go down in this total width, tell it I want this pattern to be, maybe I want it 72, and I want the total height to be 80. Now, I don't know what the vertical spacing is, so I'm just going to put this on the screen, and the vertical spacing looks pretty good to me. So what do I have? I have 72 by 80. I'm going to close this setup screen, do a select all, and what do I have? It says it's 73.02 by 80, and I would draw a boundary, and then I would adjust the width to fit that boundary. So that's how simple it is in CS6. I am back in CS7, and what I want to do here is compare setting up these patterns. I'll right click there, look at my pattern properties. Now that's that big pattern. I'm going to exit out of that, check this pattern property, and this is what I want to see. So I will just use this pattern to set up an edge to edge in repeat patterns. I'm going to click on the repeat patterns, and there's also a place to select over here in features. I can select repeat patterns there. And I'll just go and do it the normal way with the icon, repeat patterns. It tells me to click a point, and I'll just click a point. There it has placed one pattern on the screen, and it says over here that it is 18.02. That's normal. However, I would like for this pattern to be 15 inches tall. In CS6, I could just select this, and I could type in 15, and sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, but it didn't this time. It's still remaining at 18. But on this left side you see here negative signs, and on the right positive signs. If I click this negative sign, it's going to decrease the pattern by an inch. So there's my 15, and there's my height. So that is one way that I could do that, but I could not select this and type in the height. I'll say this, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. So I'll go on down, and here's my total height. My total width, I'll make it like I did before, 72. And my total height, I'll make it 80. And we'll see what happens. So there it is. Let's put that on the screen. I'll click OK to accept that. And then if I select everything, okay, select all, and it says it's 72 by 79.99, so 72 by 80. So that worked that way. I was just not able to adjust the pattern like I can in CS6. So now I'm going to start a new group and select this pattern. Check my properties. Okay. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to go to Features, Repeat Patterns. It says click a point. Okay, it's on the screen. See if I can do this. Change it to 15. So it changes it right back. So see what happens if I start doing this. Okay, it's not going to do it. So what I would have to do is do all of this. Okay, I don't want to do that. I'll try something different. View properties. Pattern height, let me change it to 15. Okay, it changed it there, that's okay. And if I save it and close, go back and check my properties, okay, there it is. See what happens when I go to repeat patterns. Click a spot, select it, there it is, it's 15 by 17.13, and it has the same thing over here. Now, why this does this, I have no idea. But I could go ahead and scroll down, and my total width, I'll make it again 72, and my height 80, and just see what happens here. So there it is. It says it's 72 by 80. I'll select that, click OK, select all, and there it is. It's the same as what I had before. Why did it bring in one pattern so large when it doesn't do that in CS6? I don't have a clue. So this is one of the problems that I've encountered, and I'm going to go and make several videos showing you different ideas with CS7 compared to CS6.